Wouldn't you do the same?
No.
You're gonna be here long after I'm gone.
We are live.
We are live.
We are live.
Did I say welcome to the main event?
Run that thing, brother. You mad?
Oh, man.
Behave before you talk about what I'm talking about, yeah?
Disclaimer.
Run that thing back. Nah, man, stay there in your corner, man. Run that thing back, fam. I don't want to hear nothing from you.
We are live, guys. I'm Joe, 1/3 of the Cyber Nerds.
Moving the GS.
So, Mr. Blackstar.
And welcome back to another Jupiter's Legacy review. Today we've got episode 2. Now, before we get into that, make sure you're doing all the right things and becoming part of the Cyber Nerds Legacy by pressing the subscribe button, sharing the video, hitting the thumbs up to show everyone that you enjoy our content. Guys, episode 2. How are we feeling? What are our thoughts? Where are we going?
Very different direction from episode 1. Because now it's more of the show. They're still telling us rather than showing us, but it's a mixture of both. But what I feel is absent from the episode is that the superhero stuff, which I'm expecting, but I'm liking the repercussions of the previous episode that I don't feel like it touched on many other previous superhero shows. So obviously we've got Utopia always saying, like, follow the code, don't kill. Obviously his son's now killed one of the villains. And now you got the public, cops, other people who are obviously in the danger zone all the time compared to superheroes, saying that they want, like, basically villains dead. And I feel like that doesn't really get touched on anywhere else. And if it is, like, the boys, then it's, like, covered up so the public don't really see that if heroes are out here killing people.
It's the flip of it.
Yeah, so, I don't know, it's like the whole Batman situation where Batman's always like, he don't kill anyone because if you kill someone, then that's one more murderer in the world. But if there's less of them, does that make the world a safer place? It's not like not that you're, like, obviously they're in the contention of the law, but if you're that high level threat, law authority, I feel like you should be taking that extra step to be doing that.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like the chicken and the egg, innit? Because, like, if you kill this dude, there's just another one, brother, and that is the escalation. Like, that is the start of the superhero thing is man puts on mask, goes out to kill someone. Do you know what I'm saying? Or goes out to rob someone with a knife. Bad. To get security for that, we get guns. To get something for this, we get superheroes. To get something like this, we murder the bad guys. But that then takes us to, you know what I'm saying? That is just a continued escalation of the process that I feel like in the show where we're talking about. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like obviously Batman's like, oh, put him in jail, whatever. And then other people be like, kill him. But I feel like they actually both lead to the same thing, the escalation of the war. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the continued war between good and evil. Like, I don't actually feel like there's one way that's right or which way's wrong. I feel like they're both actually the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Just depending on how you approach the scenario. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's why some people are like, oh, I don't believe in the right to bear arms. Do you know what I'm saying? And some people do. Do you know what I'm saying? Some people think guns kill people. Some people think people kill people. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like it's the same thing. Do you get what I'm saying? That's how I see it.
Yeah, that's actually a very it's a very interesting topic what you man was just talking about, innit? Because, like, one can't coexist without the other, and like you meant, I mean, that's super legit, innit? That's super legit what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I'm still, I did find this episode a lot more interesting than the first one, even though there was no superhero aspects of it. Just the dialogue. I thought it was a lot deeper, and we got to know a lot more where the Utopian's heart has always been, and how it also has been naive. Do you know what I mean? Because he's the guy always trying to do the right thing, but without even understanding how the world works. Do you know? Until this day, he still hasn't learned that lesson. So going back to the time just running a company, he doesn't even understand the intricacies of it and what is required to be successful. Do you know what I mean? Like, he talks about, we provide all this iron to the country that built the greatest nation in the world. But you was just doing the kiddie stuff, the nice stuff. You don't understand what it took for you to be the greatest in the country and provide all this iron that built America. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though he would go against your ideals, but that is what is required when we're talking about capitalism. Do you know what I mean? So, and even today, going back to the conversation with his wife, he's like, yo, you can't stop trying to be in control of these things, because that's not how the world works. And it just seems like he's still in the same place. And
see, this is what I want to dive in here, because I feel that is the opposite of what's happened. So obviously, back when they was running the business, it's not that he didn't understand. He was not given that information, or, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't part of the process that deeply.
Because he was living his own little bubble.
Yeah, no, bro, because he was an employee. He didn't have all of the information. But bear with me, it plays into who the character is now. So he didn't have all of the information. So now imagine that. Obviously, at the funeral, he's saying, I never really knew who my dad was until he was dead. Boom, 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 boom. All of this stuff, because he felt like he lacked the information while the business was being ran. So now he is a control freak.
Yeah,
do you see how that's gone from not knowing to now, I have to know and control everything.
I get that.
That's what I'm saying. That's
here's
who he
one thing
evolved into.
But here was also plays part of who he is. The Thai conversation. That's Dad's favourite Thai.
That's the same with the knowledge.
No, because
he was unaware of that. Like
his dad just understood the kind of person he was, and he was like, I'm just gonna make it I'm just gonna wear this because that's who you are, that's who you believe in. You're just the nice guy, so I just want to appease you. So I'm just gonna wear this. But as soon as you're out the door, change tie.
Nah,
that just plays a part to me. That just tells me
I think that
the kind of person he is.
I think that says more about the dad, because when we meet the dad
it says a lot about both of them.
I think for me it says more about the dad, because obviously the dad is portraying to be one person. I'm wearing this tie to make my son happy. The same way as he's going to the workers and say, oh guys, we're gonna do this, you're all right. But then on the flip side, behind closed doors, he changes his tie and he's using all of these man's money. Bruv, that son was not aware of that.
And why do you think is that?
Bruv, that he might not have agreed. And to be honest, he would have been right, because his dad's moving mad.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I'm saying?
The question is, why do you think...
we already said in episode 1 that we think that the mind guy is going to be a bad guy, yeah?
We said that.
And he knows his son, he knows the mind reader's on crud.
And that's
why he's picked him to know all of the stuff about the business.
But he's got 2 sons, and he chooses to confine more of one than the other.
Because he knows
something.
It says that this son here, the guy who might read minds, who we already identified that we believe is dodgy, his dad identified that, this is the son I can rely on because I'm on crud, and I'm going to raise him to be on crud. That's why when he goes behind closed doors, he can open up to this you. This is why this guy knows about all the treachery that's going on in the business, bruv.
I just think that he just understands how the world is, while the other son just doesn't, because that's just the way it is. He just lives in this little bubble. His heart is too pure. That's the way I feel.
I don't feel like that, bruv. I just feel like them man were on crud and he kept it from him. It might have been because he feels like he was naive, but at the same time, bruv, what they was doing is wrong.
I'm not disputing that.
I feel like you guys are both.
I'm not.
And that's what I'm
disputing who's right or wrong.
Yeah, no, but I feel like that is
how things work in life.
No, but I'm talking about in the show. That is an important part of why he was unaware, and this is why I'm saying, this is why I believe this guy will grow up
to be
a control freak, because his dad died, and then he finds out that his dad wasn't the person who said he was, so he then has to, I have the code, I have to be this code to prove that, like, I am who I am. Like, do you know what I'm saying? This is why, even though the world's changing and all these things are evolving, he's going to stand on his code and he's going to die in his code, right or wrong, because he wants to just show everyone, this is who I am, bro. So what his dad didn't do.
Go back to Raven's point about being naive about the world still, about if he has this code, even though now he's turned into a control freak, he still feels the world would still be the betterment of not killing people, so to speak.
Bruv,
even though man would have died on the field, going by his code.
And he feel, he believes that's right, that's his truth, fam. And I feel like that's fine for him. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he never wants anyone to look back and be like, oh, this guy said this, but did
like his
this.
dad.
Yeah, bro, exactly. He doesn't want to be that guy. So yeah, his code might not be acceptable to everyone, but it's not naive because he knows who he is. Do you know what I'm saying? He's accepted 100%. This is me, right or wrong. This is what I'm standing by, bruv. Like that. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just who the guy is.
But then the world would change though.
Bruv, the world...
The thing is,
And he's-
the
but
world
that's
hasn't even changed. The reason why we have this concept of knife and gun is because there is no equality in the world. Because there is no equality in the world, and people like take advantage of other people, while some people get rich, while other people be out in the sewers. That's where that the crime comes from. Because those are committing crime and they're benefiting from it. Those who are not committing crime are getting caught up in their ways and paying the price and dying in the gutter. And this is where the whole gun and knife comes up, and then the superheroes, and then killing, not killing, is because there's no equality. Because if there was equality, like we wouldn't need heroes, we wouldn't need knives, we wouldn't need guns. But because of that, this is what we have. And it won't stop, not because of, oh, if we kill or if we don't kill, it's going to stop. No. Once equality starts, then all of that goes out the window.
But that's not...
But he don't understand. He just thinks like a code is going to...
Bruv.
Instead of fighting, was keeping us in this loop that will last forever until we stop.
But that's the... Nah, bruv.
Yeah, bro.
No, because him then turning around tomorrow and killing continues the war.
Yeah, it's not going to stop anything.
Exactly. So he's like, I'm not killing, bruv. If everyone decides to not kill, that's equal. Because
No,
everyone...
it's not.
It is if everyone decides... You just said that.
No.
If everyone decides... Equality.
Bruv, equality.
Either the
doesn't mean
equality
killing
is...
not.
The equality either is we all use guns or we all don't use guns.
No, I'm talking about what starts this whole thing is money. Is capitalism. Is ruling. And that's what he needs to be focused on. Like, yo, we need to clean slate the things that makes this cycle go around. It's not the killing. The killing and not killing is what is the result of it.
Bruv, it all stems from the same place, bruv. The brother with the biggest stick wins, like. Do you know, that is the base level of the capitalism thing, bruv. I've got a stick and you don't. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it cannot continue if they keep killing, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it continues.
Or not killing, like.
Bruv. And that's what I'm saying. You're talking about equality. It's all got to stop. Either we all have guns or we all don't have guns. Do you know what I'm saying? And then you're building from a position of things being a level playing field. Do you get what I'm saying? But like, anyway, like he's sticking to his code.
Which is fine.
I just feel like he's become that because of his dad. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is why he's gonna be like that, because he wants full transparency around who he is as a character. But yeah, what else from the episode are you, man?
I like the situation with him and his daughter. Again, it goes back to him just being a control freak about, like, even though he says he's got a responsibility, or she's got a responsibility, trying to put control for someone too much. Not only would they want to rebel, but you don't give them a choice of who they actually want to be.
He's not giving them any choice.
Yeah,
he's like, you have to be this. Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's to say I have to be this?
And I've always been saying this, especially about Superman. It's like, well, if one day you just want to put the cape down, who's to tell you to say that you can't?
Yeah, like
I hear that, but you do not feel like with that ability you have a responsibility?
To some sense, yes and no, because like as human beings,
you're not a human being though.
Well, to a sense, you are. Obviously, you're
not. You're raised around human beings, and this is this is the issue, bruv. This is the issue with the whole thing. Like, you can't have the standards of I'm a human being when you don't have the abilities of a human being, bro. You are something else.
But it's a bit bad for me to say, but isn't that what people say about God? Whereas, like, if this was a good God, why would he let good people die?
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about these man.
I hear
what you're saying, but
these men are like God.
We're talking.
That's what I'm
They're
saying.
not like. They're not like God.
If
they're
God
not like
wants to
God.
be on Earth and be like, I just want to live among people, no matter how good how.
Bro,
great I am.
you're taking it out of context. Like,
no,
talk about the guy, innit?
Okay, I'm talking about him, Utopia, and his children. Yeah. So, okay, let's say they're just gods. One wanted to be a god amongst men. And he's like, I'm using my responsibility to help people. Now he's gone and killed someone. So now he's like gone against man's code. But then there's another god who's like, I don't want to be a god, but I want to be amongst the people, not using my powers. What's wrong with that?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I'm saying for me, if you've got disability or whatever, you've got a responsibility. Do you know what I'm saying? Even if you choose to not use it,
Exactly, yeah.
even if you choose to not use it, bruv, you have to then live with the burden of not using it, bruv. She is a substance abuser, bruv. Look at her, bruv.
No,
Do you not think some of the
Sounds like a normal human being to me.
Bruv, she don't look like a normal human being to me, bruv. She don't look like a normal human being
She's
to me,
doing
bruv.
what a lot of human beings do, like being on substance.
And that's fine, bruv. But you've got for me, with her, it's like, obviously, she's got an overbearing dad who's like, you're waste, bruv. And she overcompensates by being complete the opposite way, bruv.
Exactly.
But then you do not think that she looks like a tortured person inside because she knows there's a responsibility there, bruv. What do you think is going to happen by the end of the season? Do you not think she's going to come out of her shell and be like, I've got to take on this responsibility,
no,
bro?
Be so dead if she
that's
does
what's
that.
gonna, bro. That's what's gonna happen.
There's gonna be a reason why.
That's what's gonna happen.
Because why.
One of the reasons why she's like that is because of her dad.
Nah, bro.
And bruv, yeah.
It's because it.
Yeah,
look,
but beat
bruv,
this shit. When on the first episode when they're playing with the
and he
children,
dips.
and he comes, when he comes, what's their response? Oh crap, dad is here. We're in trouble. That fear, we're in trouble.
They just use their powers
because
while playing hide and seek.
But even before that, like
there was no before that.
It's like you do this, and your child's already moving. You know what I mean?
Bro, they did something wrong.
No, bro, I'm not disputing. I'm just saying that's already implanted in them. That's how that is. Like,
you're taking the scene out of context because
no, I'm not.
They did something wrong in that scene.
Bruv, I'm not, bruv. It's the response already, bruv. That crap.
Because they did something wrong.
Like, bruv.
If man just
that
landed,
says a lot. Why she's finished like this, bro.
Nah.
And the other son is the way he is as well.
If man just landed, and they hadn't done anything wrong and the kid flinched, I'd agree with you. But she just used her powers, man landed, they knew they was in trouble, there was a reaction, bruv. There was never you know what I'm saying? Like, you're making it sound like man some abusive guy, bruv. Like, the kids did something bad and knew they was in trouble. Dad came up and their heads were hanging, bruv. That's normal in most households, innit? You get me?
I'm just saying, bruv. It's coming from a long way. And if she's like this,
bruv, she's turning, bruv.
And if she comes to like, bruv,
where do you think her character's going?
Bruv, she should just stick to who she is and even become. Either she becomes an anti-hero or a full villain. But if she goes to the other side, it's dead. Because like I've just said, from time she's a kid, and she's already, like, when she comes to a dispute with the other kid, and she uses her powers, and she's messed up here, using substances, all that kind of crap, bruv, it takes a very long time for you to heal as a person. Bruv, if she, by the end of this season...
We only got 8 episodes, bro.
She's on the other side, bruv. That's dead. She needs to stick to her guns who she is, or fight crime, but her own way, and not dad's way. If that's where she wants to take, that's absolutely fine.
If she goes to the path of fighting
like
crime...
her dad, that's dead.
Bruv, I'm not saying she's going to become like her dad with a code, but at some point, the responsibility that she has and the power she has is going to be... Even if she goes to fighting crime and being an anti-hero or whatever, to me, that is still her. Do you know what I'm saying?
Take your anger and murking these guys.
No, that's me. That's for me, her being like, okay, I actually have to, you know what I'm saying? Can't just waste these powers being on magazines and that. Do you get what I'm saying? Which she knows is, bruv, I'm just saying, that's what, I feel like.
Talents. That's what we do. We use our talents. That's what she's doing. She's using her talents.
Yeah, it's not the same, man. Get me? The talent that she's using, there's bare people in the population that can do that. There's the abilities that she's got that bare of them don't. So I feel like that is the responsibility she's got to do it.
So
yeah, I just like that whole notion being posed, to be honest, because again, like, I don't really see that too. Okay, we do see it in comic books, but I like that it's actually been highlighted here, especially when you're
to kill the bad guys.
No, just like, I've got these powers, and the choices you're making, becoming an adult even. I'm guessing she's like, again, late teens or early 20s. So I do like that. That's being shown here.
She's even younger than
I'm pretty sure
the brother. She's younger than the brother. So if he's like 20, she might be like what, 18, 19.
He's got to be older than 20, innit? He's got to be older than 20. Do you get me?
We say what, 22?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that
25,
early 20s, yeah, so
that
that's the
25 to, like, do you know what I'm saying? She doesn't look 18 to me, innit? She looks a bit older than that.
That's what happens when you use substances, bro.
We use lot older than
1000%.
Bro, she's
Your
not.
body can't.
She's not older. I don't think she's older than 18, innit? I mean, I think she's older than 18.
Oh, I think she's older than 18 as well, but I
That's what
don't
I'm
think
saying.
she's like. I wouldn't give her more than 21. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
But it's not even just
Disclaimer: the views of Keith Sensei all his own.
Well, even the substances, I think it's even past that, because if there is the notion that the brother was doing the man's with, or basically abusing her before she was of age, that's another trauma as well. So she's been through a lot where her mind is actually frazzled.
If that's happened.
If that's
I
happened.
think she's actually been through some madness for it to be
Well,
like.
we already said that in the first review.
It's a controlling dad, it's the uncle possibly doing something, and then her wanting to just not be among these guys because of power sits or something.
Yeah.
Bro,
She said,
it's
man,
all
that
bad,
every
bro.
time I did something, you just disagreed the way I dress, the way I look.
Yeah,
So
you can't live.
every time you say something to me, it feels like you're fighting me. So I have no other choice but to fight you.
Mm.
Because that's just my defense mechanism, like just kicking in.
I like that kind of stuff.
So I thought, yeah, man. So I guess on the debate we had, we're still locked in.
I know, it was
For
a
the
good
next
episode. Really good.
Episode, yeah.
No. I think it's good, and I feel like one of the things we spoke about in the first review, and I was like, I think because Netflix dropped it all at the same time, it's like
Okay.
that's why there was not. For me, I was cool with there being no superhero stuff in this episode, because it's like they did half superhero, half narrative in the first one. Second one went full narrative. I presume in the next one they're gonna set us up with bare action and stuff like that. Do you get me? Hopefully they don't blow the budget and that, yeah. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, jump in the comment section below and let us know what you think. Kill villains, don't kill villains, knives, guns, all of these things there. Is cocaine a hell of a drug? Get me? All of that there.
Yeah,
but yeah. And if you want to be part of the watch along and you want to watch us watch Jupiter's Legacy, head over to patreon.com/cybernerds, where you can watch that and us watch many more shows. Other than that, I'm Joe, one third of the Cyber Nerds.
Raven your GS.
So, Mr. Blitzstick.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.